Hello, my name is Carlos Urban, and I'm doing this video because even though I've never done this before, I want to give you a few reasons why, if you're a Nikon shooter, especially let's say if you're intermediate to advanced and have had several DCLRs or even one of the Nikon mirrorless cameras, why I think you should buy the Nikon Z9. Now you're probably thinking, well, that makes no sense. If you buy a Nikon Z9, first of all, it's so much money, and second of all, it's out of stock. Yeah, you go to Amazon, you cannot even find it. You go to B&H, they notify you, but you cannot even order it. Now, um, so let me tell you a little bit of a story of what happened to me because I think that a lot of people are in the same situation that I was. When so let me show you because some people think I don't have a C9. Here is my C9, and well, let me show you a couple of things because this is important. First of all, I have a C9. It's my first mirrorless camera. And if you notice, I have sorry, I have a blurred background, the FTC connector or FTC adapter, and my 14 to 24 2.8 lens. So I've had the camera now for almost 2 weeks, and I have to say that I was I almost canceled it because I was also frustrated that I was not getting the camera. I ordered it in November, and it seemed that it was not going to arrive. And I'm saying to myself, do I really want to spend this much money, especially now that the economy seems to be going a little bit into bad or into recession. There is inflation. As a matter of fact, when I saw, so this is funny. So when they told me a couple of weeks ago that it was on its way, I felt guilty. I said, why am I spending so much money? I have three Nikon cameras, DCLRs. Actually, I sold my D800. They gave me almost nothing. So I have a D7000, a D500, and I used to have a D800. I sold the D800 because so let me give you a little background because I had ordered 2 or 3 years ago the D850, and when I heard that Nikon was coming out with the mirrorless cameras, I canceled Nikon D850, especially because I wanted a camera where I could do everything, where I could do sports, action. I wanted the combination of my D800 and my D500. The D850 seemed like the perfect camera. But then when I realized that I needed to spend on the battery grip and special battery, and it was going to be almost $5,000, I thought about how I'm going to spend almost $5,000, and they're about to come out with a completely new technology. And we already had seen from Sony and so on that mirrorless, in a lot of ways, is where cameras are going. So then, I mean, I had never spent so much money on a camera. The most I had spent was $3,000 when I bought the D800, and for me that was, an enormous amount of money. But like many photographers who have been buying lenses over the years, so I've been shooting now for 12 years, and I have the 2.8s, the 14 to 24, what they call Holy Trinity, the 24 to 70. I upgraded from the original one to the VR because my D800, I noticed that I needed the VR. And the other reason why I didn't buy the 850 is because I have heard so many wonderful things of the mirrorless for video, which is something that I want more and more to do. I have been a still photographer, but I really want to learn video and editing because that's really where everything is going. So anyway, sorry to deviate back and forth. This is more like a conversation than anything else. So when the Z9 was announced, I made a video of why I'm ordering the Z9. I ordered it from Nikon, and then I made a very, very stupid mistake. Adorama sent me one of these things where I could get an Adorama credit card and they would give me 10% off. So I figured, oh, so I can save $500, and with that I can buy the FTC2 adapter, memory cards, and all that. So I'll order it from Adorama. Well, if I had kept I should have kept both orders. If I would have kept my order from Nikon instead of getting my camera at the beginning of April, I probably would have received it like in February, because I was, it was like the day they announced it. It was really the right time. So anyway, so let me go back of why I think you should order a Z9 now, even if you cannot afford it. Well, it's out of stock. Okay. Now, if you go to Nike, by the way, if you go to B&H, so let's go to B&H. So Amazon, you cannot even order it. So I'm put here B&H. I'm pretty sure B&H doesn't allow you to order it either. It's just gonna say out of stock. Oh, this is interesting. They allow request stock alert. I don't know if you can order. Right now I have request stock alert. Well, you know what? If you can buy from B&H, buy it from or order it from B&H. So B&H and Nikon allows you to order it. Now, just to give you an idea, the camera is going for about $2,000 more, okay, used than new. So even if, look at this, okay, brand new, $8,000, $8,000. So, so even if if you decide that you don't want it, you can sell it probably for more than what you pay for. So let me tell you a little bit more now about my experience in these past 2 weeks with the Z9. If you see my channel, I've been doing some tutorial videos. I've always done tutorial videos. My profession is actually I teach. So a lot of people have told me, you're good at doing these tutorials because that's what you're used to doing. I'm not the most knowledgeable person, not even close, but I can, I'm used to teaching. So anyway, my point is, in the past 2 weeks, I really tried to learn as much as possible so I can transfer that learning in some of my videos. And what I realized is that this camera has surpassed all of my expectations. You wouldn't believe how happy I am that I have this camera. And basically what I did is I found, if you have good credit, hopefully you do, they send you in the mail all the time these promotions of credit cards where you can transfer your balance. I just transferred the balance of the whole thing to one of those credit cards where I have a year to pay, 0 interest. Sometimes they give you like a 3 or 5%. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna return it. I'm just gonna pay a little by little. And I'm so happy with my decision. This camera is so good. It's really like the dream camera. It's a dream camera because, first of all, I can use all of my old lenses, and I'm amazed how well the autofocus works with the old lenses. I'm sure that with the Z lenses, maybe it's a little bit better, but why, if I have a 14 to 24 2.8 or a 24 to 70 2.8, especially the VR, why am I going to spend like $10,000 on new lenses where the difference in sharpness, I'm gonna have to look in the screen at 100% magnification. By the way, I'm sure that the native lens is better, but my point is, based on my experience, again, I've had a D800, I have the D500, which is an excellent camera, the D7000. This blows it away. I mean, it's not even close. It's not even close in terms of everything. The other thing is all the features in the autofocus, the face detection, the all the different capabilities. It's just out of this world. And I still haven't. I'm still at the beginner stage on video. And they said that the firmware 2.0, the biggest, the huge, incredibly big improvement is in the video, to the point that it blows all the other mirrorless away. Now, the other reason why I think you should order it. Now you're saying, why should I order it? I have a Z7 or a Z6 II, and I'll order it. This is going to be much better, okay? And what you can do, I think that if you're serious about photography, if you're going to do some event or anything, again, serious doesn't mean professional. I do events all the time, but it's photography is not even 5% of my income. And, I do it as a hobby, but I like photography. I have my lights and by the way, all my speed lights are old. I have the SB950s, and perfect. It works excellent. Everything is just it works so well. But what I was going to say is the biggest thing is the video. Because a lot of people say, well, I have a D850 and it's almost the same. In the video, it's not even, my understanding, it's not even close. The other thing is, believe me, everything is going to mirrorless. I know that it's hard for people like me to accept it. I didn't buy a mirrorless until now. And I kind of resisted because I was so disappointed with Nikon, with the Z6 and Z7. I had a chance to test the Z6 for about a week. A friend of mine had bought a Z6 and he lent it to me. And I was just not happy with it, especially because I knew that Sony and Canon were so far ahead. It got to the point where I was thinking, well, maybe I should just buy a Sony if I want a mirrorless. I was so upset with Nikon. It was like a big letdown. And when the Z9 was announced and the first test and all that, I said, okay, this is the opportunity. This is the opportunity. This is going to be a camera that I'll keep for the next 10 years easily. I mean, I kept the D800. The D800 I bought it when it first came out, so it would have been 11 years. I sold it just like 3 months ago. I still have my D7000, which is the camera, ironically, when I was serious about photography, that I have my best pictures. I won awards and all that was with D7000. But the thing that this thing has is, if you like action, I mean, you can do 20 frames per second. You can do more than 100 frames per second if you shoot JPEG. I mean, it's just incredible, and it keeps everything on focus. So now you say, well, what about my other cameras? This is where it becomes difficult, but I think that you can keep one as a backup. The other one, if they're not going to give you almost anything for it, like the D7000 that I have, then you know what? I rather give it someday to somebody who wants to learn photography, or maybe I can lend, if I'm teaching somebody a class, I can let them use the D7000. Again, it's a wonderful camera, excellent camera. The D800 was a complicated camera. That was not a camera to give to a beginner. So that one, I knew I was going to get rid of it. I almost got rid of it when the D850 came out. But again, so now I have the D7000, the D500, and the Z9. I think eventually I'm going to sell the D500 and get another mirrorless, but not now. For now, I rather not spend any more money on cameras. I still need to buy more of the the memory cards, which are expensive. I also need to buy. I really want to buy the L plate for my really right stuff um, ball head. Again, stuff that if you buy stuff that is good quality, my tripod, my Gitsu tripod, and I can show you because some people may think, oh, this guy is just BSRs. Here it is. Okay, my really right stuff. Really, sorry. It's, the this ball head and this tripod. I think it's now like 10 years, and it's still like new. When you buy, and I I use the tripod for everything. I'm not really good with handheld, so I use my tripod for everything. So when you buy stuff that is good quality, you keep it for a long time, and it'll be worth it. Okay, now what else? So I'll give you one more reason why I think you should buy this camera. I understand if some people cannot afford it. Obviously, that's a whole different story. Even if you don't want to put it on a credit, look, is perfectly fine. I'm just giving you some of the reasons why in personal opinion. So here's the last and most important reason why I think you should buy it. Inflation. What's happening is that every material here, the chips, the sensors, I'm just amazed that we have things that have gone up in price 30, 40%, and this hasn't gone up in price. Okay, now you say, well, but it's out of stock. Yeah, but I think this is going to hold its value for a while, precisely because it's out of stock. Worst that can happen is if they ship it to you, you can resell it or just return it. But order it now, you will not regret it. Whatever you do with your other stuff, again, it's not up to me. I think that eventually, so this is the other thing if you're a DCLR user. And I thought a lot about this. Eventually, I'm gonna buy a Z lens. It's going to happen. I mean, and when that happens, I will only be able to use it on my mirrorless camera. I won't be able to use it on my D500. So this is the other thing. So this is what, if you're looking into, okay, 5 or 10 years from now, do you really think these CLRs are still going to be around? Yeah, but they're not going to come out with more lenses or more. Even the crop sensor and the more affordable cameras are coming out in mirrorless. By the way, if this is another thing, if you are new and you're not ready for this type of investment, well, at least buy a mirrorless camera because that's a new technology. I mean, it's like buying, like when the LCDs came out, televisions, like trying to, well, I don't want to use other metaphors because it may not be a good one. So anyway, this was almost 20 minutes long, and I hope that you find this video useful. By the way, you do not need to agree with me. That's perfectly fine. I don't represent Nikon. I don't get a commission from anybody. I'm just telling you in all honesty, and it kind of comes from the heart, because I read in one of the Facebook Z9 forums, somebody who was really upset that they haven't received their Z9 and they were ready to cancel their order. And I'm like, that's crazy. Why would you cancel your order if you are, this is first come, first serve basis. So, okay, you haven't received it, but you're going to receive it sooner than if you order it now. So, oh my God. I think if there was a market, you could probably sell your spot to somebody else. And I wouldn't be surprised if there is a market for that. But anyway, super happy with the camera. It exceeded all of my expectations. Firmware 2.0. And again, I don't know if it's superior to Sony and Canon. To be honest, I don't care. because it's like people who have a Samsung phone and they always tell me it's better than your iPhone. Well, I love my iPhone. And with Nikon, the thing is that I've invested in Nikon for many years, 12 years, in lenses, especially lenses. And lenses are huge investments. So for me to change to Canon and Sony was that would have been a very difficult thing to change, unless Nikon mirrorless were keep getting worse and worse and worse. But that's not the case. Okay, so I'm at the 20-minute mark. I think this is already longer. I wanted to make like a 10-minute video. If you want to learn more about the Z9 or other cameras, Nikon cameras, or shooting about photography, please subscribe to my channel. And if you like this video, please put that you like it. So again, I appreciate your time, and I hope that this very honest opinion with no vested interest is helpful for those people who are Nikon shooters like me and are kind of on the fence. Thank you.